Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marketing Your Retail Dream. Thanks for tuning in to our webinar today. And of course, today's agenda, we're going to go straight into marketing basics because I think too often folks want to jump right into the ideas and don't have a proper idea of the foundation. Getting to know the customers, basic research that we should be looking at, a quick lighting discussion and how it relates to your brand message in general, a few promotional ideas that will be left in, and we'll move forward. So let's jump right into it. So this is one of my favorite retail marketing definitions, by the way, and because it covers so much, it gives you a big picture, a bigger picture than these are just ideas. We should just come up with these ideas and let's jump right into it. It makes you understand and it reminds you that everything works together, especially in a retail product environment. So it's developing the right product or service at the right price, at the right place, for the right customer, and the right quantity, and at the right time. Again, everything needs to make sense for the last one, which is the right customer, because we don't want to offer a $5,000 purse to someone whose expectation is for a non-leather synthetic, very stylish, but maybe $25 purse. You know, quick in and out. Maybe she wants two purses. Again, maybe it's an age range thing. It has nothing to do with price. It's about the client's needs. But if we're not taking time to understand the client's needs, how are we going to be expected to purchase properly for the store, buy the right quantity, offer the right price, the right promotion? Everything won't make sense if you don't take time to get to know who that client is. So please understand this definition clearly. So marketing. What is marketing really for? It's not just about the gorgeous website, guys, and posting a few things on Facebook every now and again and hoping that magic will just fall from the heavens. The real reason why we market is for the following. It's to create revenue. That's the primary reason for marketing. It is a revenue generating space. That's our purpose and that's our own mantra. Marketing is about creating revenue. The added thought lines that we need to have here, it's about maintaining our old customers who we've worked so hard at getting. We want to make sure that we keep them locked in. It's about finding new customers. And it's about building the brand's reputation and loyalty over time. It's a relationship. We want to keep building it over time. The big question that I always get from quite a few people is, you know, what percentage of my revenue or how much should I put into marketing? And that question, I think, was a lot more valid many, many years ago, 20, 30 years ago. But our landscape is very different now, and we have a lot more access to our clients' eyeballs than we've had before in the past. And this actually has led to a reduction in cost of getting to those eyeballs. You know, before it was, you know, advertising in magazines, newspapers, you know, expensive ads on television, all things that you had to repeat frequently in order to build the relationship. Or for the smaller guys, building the relationship over time and thinking very creatively to try to get them in, sometimes spending a lot of money to get those eyeballs in. Now with the advent of social media, having your own website, having control over your website, having all of these other tools, affordable printing, all of these things make it a lot, the question doesn't really go anymore. I have clients who only have $150 to spend per month. And it's like, okay, let's look at it thoughtfully about where your clients are and how we're going to get to them. So the question is, I'm going to flip it back to you. The question you should be asking yourself is, what can I effectively spend month in, month out to get to my clients consistently? So what can I spend consistently every single month, not stopping and starting? I'm going to do $5,000 this month, and then after that, I'm going to get all this magic. No, What can you do consistently every single month? It's like building a great friendship. It's like building a great marriage. It's like building a great relationship with your kids. It's about relationship building, and relationships don't always happen by magic. I'm sure someone out there is going to say, well, I met my best friend that way. It doesn't always build over time like that. So it's about a long-term thought line. So it's, it's more about what you can afford. So what can you afford to do? Don't overdo it and say $2, okay? I mean, we have to be realistic about it. But again, what can you do month in, month out to get to the client? That's your marketing budget. That's what you should be thinking about. Okay, and so I always like to kind of have a discussion about what I call the 5 Ps of marketing. I know a lot of people, you've taken a couple of marketing classes and you've heard them throw around the idea of 4 Ps. That's fantastic. I've been doing this for about 25 years or so, and that was also my major in college as well, and I've taught at the college level. And the thing that always bugged me was, the people should be part of the P's as well, shouldn't it? And it's never mentioned. Everything else is mentioned, but the people isn't, and that's a foundation of this entire thing, right? So know your people, product, price, placement, promotion. So let me roll up a little bit and explain to you why we're having this discussion. Paula, shouldn't we just go into some ideas really quickly, please? Again, hold up, wait a second, as Salt and Pepper said back in the day. First, you got to get to know, again, you're going to hear me echoing this the whole way through. How can you create an idea for someone you don't know? How can you put together something for them? You can't just ditto what you see someone else is doing. Is their customer the same exact customer that you're going after? I don't know, maybe it is, but if it isn't, and it's like, well, we both have nail salons, but do you have nail salons in the same neighborhood? Is it the same look and feel? Is the income level the same in the local area? What's their focus? What was their push for their brand? So you're trying to replicate something that may not be uniquely you. So get to know your people. These are the people who are going to build your business and help your future, right? So get to know the people. Once you get to know the people, now we'll understand how to properly customize the product or service. What's their expectation of what that should look like? Listen, when I go into a boutique, I expect certain things, and I'm sure you do too. I expect great service. I already know it's going to be a little bit pricier than Target, maybe a lot more expensive than Target. I know the quality level is going to be very different. I may even get a cup of tea, a glass of wine or something. The relationship building environment is going to be very different. All of these P's are going to be very, very different. Again, the $5,000 versus the $50 expectation are going to be very, very different. So let's make sure that once we know that client, what does the product or service offering looks like? What does the price expectation look like? What's the placement expectation? So where do they expect to see a store like yours? How do they expect to get to it and access it? Of course, because we are in the age that we are, a website is just a gimme, right? It's expected. It should just be part of the conversation. Do you have a website? Do you have social media that they can access? These are all standard items on top of where your store is located and how they can purchase your product, right? And then we get to the promotion. What's the expected level of promotion? What are they expecting from you when you're trying to communicate with them? And guys, one of the things that I like to tell retailers is, when you're a product-based business and you're going to be in front of the clients like that, your research isn't going to be in any books. It's right in front of you right now. Are you paying attention? You hear them speaking, you hear them asking for things, and they're asking you pretty consistently. You sell them a pen and they're asking for the paper that goes with it. Oh, do you have this? Oh, I saw it at another store. I just thought maybe you'll have it. And you're hearing all of these different things over and over again. They're asking for the type of service they expect. Oh, do you take credit cards? Oh, okay. They're asking you, they're telling you. A simple thing that you could probably do is have a book next to you and write them down. and really look at them at the end of the month. That's your research. This is what the client's asking you for. Listen, I'm not talking about that client who comes to your store, and we all have had that client who knows a lot, they want to tell you, but they're never going to buy anything. That's not your customer. You know, your customers are people that not only like your product, but can afford you to buy your product as well, right? Again, people who are your customers are not only the people who like your product service, but can afford to purchase your product and service. You're not in the charity game here. This is a for-profit model, right? Let's do the 5P marketing game so that I can show you some more visuals of what exactly this looks like. So the Louis Vuitton purse, we already have an expectation of where this should be sold, the service level, the pricing, the people who are going to be in the store, what the store is going to look like, the signage. There's an expectation here. Notice all of those P's, how they're working harmoniously together, right? And then we go into Trader Joe's, Safeway, what have you, our local store, and we see the word organic. Again, we know that the pricing is going to be very different than regular lettuce, right? It's just the expectation. Are you ensuring that your client's expectation are all the same? Because guess what, guys? If you start confusing them, they are not going to purchase. So those 5 Ps need to sing harmoniously together, you know? Simple water, but look at the packages that they're in. So we're already expecting that the price on this simple bottle of water is going to be expensive. We've all encountered a few of these brands here and there. And we know, again, they've invested in packaging. And listen, there are folks who will just buy it because it's in the great packaging so they can hold it, put it in their bag, you know, kind of have it in their hand. It's about the status, not necessarily the water. You know, they can sell you on it all they want. Oh, it's extra this, it's extra. That's part of the marketing that they're doing because of the psychological pricing that they placed on the product. You know, this product, I'm never going to see this box in an Italian restaurant as a takeout. If this showed up at my house, this would be confusing. But coming from the right restaurant, this makes perfect sense. Like, oh, of course I know. Before I even open the box, I know what kind of restaurant this is, right? And so let's roll into who's your customer. So we saw the 5P story and how they work together. So we're getting an idea. And again, remember, please do not separate yourself from your clients. You are consumers in this land that we live in. The American audience is a huge consumer market, right? And so we are purchasing just the same as our clients. And so we've often been confused by products as well, right? Where you go in and what's that thought, right? You've heard that thought in your head. It's too inexpensive. Why is it so cheap? There must be something wrong with it. That's what happens when you confuse your clients. And we've all been confused sometime or the other. Because I've seen that product and walked away from it and went, oh my goodness, wait a second. I'm in marketing. I should have known that that was a mistake on the part of the owner. Let me go back and grab it. And someone else figured it out and got a great product for an unreasonably low price, right? So we need to make sure that we're not confusing our customers. Let's talk about our customers. Again, this is a foundation that our business is going to be built on. So it's important that we get to know them before we go into anything else. Who is our customer? Okay, also known as the target audience or the target customer. So I have a visual that I like to use for this. They're cute as a button, aren't they? But in retrospect, these are not our clients. Who's the clients? Parents are the clients. But you would be in error if you thought, oh, well, parents, that's one group. No, now we know that they're parents, that this is our actual clients, but we can now segment, we can now break down that group. There's going to be parents who can afford more, who only wants their kids to wear organic cotton shirts, and the parents who, well, I don't have that money. They're getting stuff from Target, they're getting stuff from Ross, you know, we're picking some things up at Walmart, you know, doesn't make them any, their money's still green, but we need to understand exactly who that client is that we're going to service in our geographic location that we're going to be focusing on. So parents, and just saying, oh, all parents love us, would be an error, but we need to break it down further. Then they get to this age, American teen market, they have jobs, they can pay for their own cell phones, they're becoming purchasers in the world. The thing that you need to know about this group is they are not brand loyal right now. They're buying everything, they're trying everything, they're excited about everything. For those of you who have kids in this age group, you'll see them come home with like 5 of the same t-shirt in the same color from Old Navy because there was a sale and it was $1.99 and I have to get it because it's awesome, right? But they have to go through the process of trying the product and seeing, and something shrinks or it runs on their white jeans or what have you, right? They have to go through this process to become more brand loyal. But it's a very significant market. Is this your market? This market's going to be very different from this market. They're now in college. We realize that after our 2008 period, so many of these kids are actually paying for their own college. You know, there's been a lot financially that's happened, and the number of kids who are paying for their own has gone up exponentially. So they're looking at money very differently than the predecessors before them, the generations before them, whose parents were helping out or paying the whole thing. Their purchasing habits are going to be very, very different. Is this your client? Understanding them and what they're looking at and their needs is going to make a big difference. Then they get to this level. We're graduating. We may have a student loan. We're about to start that fabulous new job. They're now squarely and completely responsible for their entire well-being. In some cases, I know we have a lot of people who are returning home, but you also have, you know, exponentially in the country as well, folks who are actually not. So now they're paying for their own items and making very decision. Is this your client? And again, remember, just like the kids, we can segment this market out based on which school they went to. You know, they may have just done a certificate program. They may have done an associate degree, college only, college master's, PhD. Again, their requirements, the jobs they're about to start are going to be very different. Their thought lines about things are going to be very different. Is this your client? And then now they're in a couple relationship. And so once they've partnered with someone, now there are 2 salaries in a household. So, you know, even if they started something as low as 45, 50,000 first time job, now that becomes times 2. That's now 100, 150 and up salary that can go towards being consumers, you know? And so is this your clients? You know, they're doing more together, maybe thinking about going towards marriage or long-term relationship, what have you. Is this your client? And understanding, again, different folks are going to ask for different things. So it's not just, oh, they're a couple, they're my client. Whoever is in a relationship right now. Again, break it down. We're looking at salaries. We're looking at education level. We're looking at location. We're looking at different needs, okay? And once this person comes along within the unit, suddenly they're also, again, asking for very different things. The monetary focus of the household has now shifted to this new person that they welcome into the household. Different parents are going to ask for different things. So the reason why I'm going through this process, I want to make sure that you're not saying all and everyone. And then they get to this point, right? The kids are out of the house, they're empty nesters, they now can take care of themselves, basically, hopefully, and they can spend more. The baby boomers are a very large audience, you know, but even this group can be segmented and broken down based on income, you know, education level, et cetera, you know. So I want to get you away from the idea of saying, well, everyone's my client. If you're saying that, you're truly not doing any marketing. You know, you're just literally closing your eyes, throwing wet toilet paper at the wall and hoping, please, 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 I hope it sticks. So you're doing, you know, beg marketing, you know, please, please, please. We're not beg marketing. If you're doing something like that, then you really don't know your clients. So I really want you to stop for a second and really think about who's your client. You see them coming in and out of your stores, especially for the guys who already have stores. Are you taking note? Are you listening and hearing the needs? If you write this down, it gives you a proper profile of exactly who this person is. So that's your basic research right there. So let's roll into product really quickly and let's discuss. I'm going to move a little bit faster at this section. So of course, it's your product or service offering. Okay, some folks refer to the product as product and service or just product. You know, this is a product that your client's going to purchase directly from you. So let's discuss that. So actually, you know something? I don't need to discuss this because I realized that I'd made a plan to discuss it earlier in the webinar. So again, I'm just going to repeat it really quickly, that if we take the time to do the other items, which is get to know the client, really sit back, think of a profile, start listening to them, you get to this section, what's in your store? Are there additional items that you should be adding? Is there additional services that you haven't thought about that you can add now to your product? I have a client that I worked with who did tons of accessories. They added a repair component to their product, really more as a point of getting them to come back in. So there were high-end purses and bags anyway. So they had a little repair item attached to it because they were selling these high-end products. If a strap broke, a buckle broke, or something like that, they didn't make a ton of monies off of it, but it brought the clients back into the stores, you know, to ask questions, to, you know, change things out, because they, again, an added service that they realized could create a relationship with the client. So that's just a little thing that you could do, but are you listening out for those added items and added products that you should be purchasing to add to your store to fill the expectations and the needs of the clients? The more we can ramp up that receipt, the better it is. And especially when you're taking the time to create that fantastic relationship. Once you create that great relationship, they really just want to purchase things from you. Those related products, they'd rather give their monies to you, their disposable income. So let's make sure that we have those products for them. Pricing. The pricing will attract or also deter a client. I know, because we're in this weird point where everyone's hearing retail is not a great thing anymore. It's, you know, all these other guys are coming into the space. But let me explain something to you about these internet-born retailers. A lot of them are actually creating stores right now to get into your space because they realize that it's a good thing. So there's nothing wrong with retail. That public relation, that blowhorn is coming from those internet-born companies. It's about marketing. I would be doing it if they, you know, as they are as well, you know, to let folks know it's so much better to use us than go into a small store. It's part of the battle. It's part of the game, you know. So don't be deterred. Retail is just simply evolving right now, and you need to evolve along with it. But pricing can either attract or deter your clients. And I'm not saying to lower your prices and give your product away. If your product is too cheap, they may not purchase from you either. Let me share a story with you. When I had my store, we had a jeans line in the store. And, you know, when we first opened, we were excited. San Francisco is all about the jeans. They're going to be excited about it. No one was purchasing the jeans. They would grab it and then try it on. They would, oh my goodness, I really love the way I look in the jeans. And then they would put it back. So what's going on? You didn't like the jeans? Oh, no, it was nice. And then that was it. The jeans would, I'd say 75% of the time, the jeans would just get placed back. Okay. Clearly, I thought to myself, I hadn't really researched my market. What did I miss? So I took the time to go to all of the related companies in town to see what their pricing was like. And mine was at a $69 pricing, which was, our margin was really fantastic. However, everyone else was at like around upwards of like $275. And the only person in my space was Gap Jeans. the moms knew that our product was maternity jeans, and they're seeing that a boutique environment is the same as Gap. And so that was a question mark for them because it was confusing. It's a boutique. They're seeing everyone else. It's really nice and comfortable. The quality is great, but why is the price so close to Gap? Maybe there's a problem with it. Once you confuse them, they won't purchase. We increased our price so that we'd be close to $100 and made it $99, and we couldn't keep the product in stock. So pricing will be important, but we only were able to do that because we took the time to get to know the clients and really hear them and watch them interacting with our product, as well as looking at the landscape as well. All right, so pricing will be super important. I think I dropped this in twice, but you've seen this one before. We talked about the high-end market, but let's take a really quick peek at the low-end market point here. I mean, because really pricing is about, you know, again, same product, but notice even with the Glacier product, even with their one item, again, water, guys, they broke it out to really customize it for each client. You have a smaller nip size for children or things that you can drop into a lunch container. But notice at different level, they also have the spigot as well for those sports. You know, I mean, you can grab it real quick, down it on a marathon, or you're out for a long run, or with the kids, or, you know, I've seen people use it as their doggy water so they can quickly spray it to the dog or something like that. They're thinking about all of these different types of clients. And I'm just going to go back really quickly so that you can see it. Again, we're just talking about water, but look at how the packaging, the presentation of it, the expectation of it becomes very different. These manufacturers, the folks who are selling these products at the retail end, understand that they need to price this very different than this. But even at this level, they've taken the time to break it out for different needs. Okay, so pricing and presentation will be very, very important. So marketing basics. It's going to be important not only for the independent stores, but for the small businesses in general. Retail businesses are defined by their pricing. The expectation when they come in, when you see a little corner store in the Mission or something, you're not expecting to go in and pay like $6 for water. I mean, it's just not the expectation, right? So pricing, where you plan to locate your store, how you present your store, the customer service in the store, all of this, it will be part of the expectation of pricing. The corresponding elements, of course, as just mentioned, the curb appeal, both day and night, the look of the store, the interior, the type of merchandise is chosen together, and the level of service you must offer. Okay, placement. How people gain access to your products and how will they find you? How will they be able to find you guys? You have their store space, but where else? We don't want to just use one space and go, oh, they're going to figure out how to find me at my store. We want to catch them in all the other places where they exist. So again, a website is a must. Social media is a must. Having a sign outside is a must. It's not, oh, we'll open the store and when we have the money, we'll get a sign. That's a huge no-no. You're now placed in a neighborhood and people are going by and they have no idea who and what you are. And it sounds like I'm coming up with a cheesy example, but as a consultant, I see it more often than you think. You know, you're so focused on the build out, possibly not budgeting appropriately, and you run out of money for the signage and just say, okay, I'll just do it later. But every day that sign is not up, you're losing clients because they can't find you. They don't know what's in the store. Again, confusion. I'm not going to use you. I don't want to seem silly and then go in and it's not a store that I like. Some people are going to go in and be brave. Most people aren't. Okay. And of course, here's some basic places that you can think of, right? So it's, a downtown location is going to be very different than a shopping center. It's going to be very different than a strip mall, freestanding, a room in your home. People sell from home, Avon products and Arbonne's. These are very valid products as well. That's made folks their fortune. Flea markets, home shopping parties, catalog, internet, your website, social media, other review sites. What makes sense to you? Are you utilizing them? Are you utilizing them, and are you ensuring that the look is where it's supposed to be so that it makes sense to the client base that we're in front of? Okay, so let's get to the promotion and then have a conversation about this. So this is what everyone's excited about. Everyone wants to go straight to, how to retain and maintain the clients and the relationships, and let's come up with some ideas. I'm excited, Paula, this is fantastic, but I don't want you to lose focus on everything else that we've spoken about. Who are the people that you are planning to promote to? Who are the people that you're positioning your store to appeal to? Are the products that you've placed in your store, does that make sense to the clients who would walk in through the door, or the customer base in your geographic location? Is the pricing right? Are you priced too high, priced too low, or are you priced where you're supposed to be? Great, right? Is the placement just right? Did you choose the right location for your product? Because remember, it's not just about the right location, it's about being surrounded by supporting retailers as well, related retailers. Those walkabout areas are a godsend for retailers, because guess what? Within those walkabouts are other retailers that people, and again, you're consumers as well, we love to stroll with our Starbucks or a cup of whatever and look and stroll and, oh, let me get that. But we want to make sure that we're in that environment. Again, does that work for your product? So marketing, let's go into a couple of the things that you should be thinking of. One of the things I always worry for my clients is they go straight into, I'm going to advertise. They confuse marketing with advertising. Advertising is about paying for that repeated items. So let's look at a couple of things that you could do. Advertising, sales, and promotion. By the way, guys, when you're a small store, don't overuse the sales and promotion. Let's go into that in a little bit. Public relation, personal selling. Remember, the sales staff in your store is a big part of the marketing as well. We don't want to do all of this work, get them into the space, and then they have a disappointing experience because your sales staff is horrible. Did you spend the time to walk these folks through? Do not say to me, oh, well, they're experienced, they've done this before, but have they done this before for your store? You've worked with the clients directly yourself. Spend the time, take the time to come up with a proper procedure for training them so that when they go in front of your clients, they're doing the right things. Are they doing the right things when you're not around? I don't know. And if you don't know either, I'm already hearing that there's trouble. So personal selling, a huge part of retail marketing. Direct marketing. Let's break these down. So advertising, the thing that I want you to remember here, because listen, you have this on the screen. You can go back and repeat the video over and over again. The thing that I want you to hear here is must be repeated. So because it must be repeated, it's very costly. It's challenging for a small business owner because once you do it, you can't just buy that one space in, 7x7 magazine or San Francisco magazine, the Chronicle. You can't just do that one big hit and go, they're going to find me. It'll be fine. You're going to have to repeat this message, repeat this message, repeat this message. I'll use McDonald's as an example. That thing that they had a couple of years ago, I'm loving it. But the reason why you heard the jingle in your head is because you got in the car, it was on the radio. You turned on television, it was on the television. It just kept being repeated and repeated until you started humming to it. Even if you weren't a McDonald's client, it was going in your head, right? Do you have the budget to make that happen? One of the smart things to do is the Facebook advertisement does give you a cost-effective way of getting to the clients. But again, it's still money that has to be spent, and it needs to be repeatedly done. Not like, oh, we're going to do it for 2 months, a month, and then we're going to stop. So remember what I said earlier. What is your budget? What can you do consistently for a long period of time? Sales promotion. Notice I've underlined a couple of things that I want you to spot into, okay? And that is, the only reason for this to be effective is to make it short-lived. We're in an era right now where we've seen giant retail juggernauts getting taken down by this mistake in the market. Prior to this, they did quite well, and then they flipped their mindset somewhere along the way where they have sale after sale after sale after sale. Why would I buy at full price ever? All I have to do is wait for tomorrow. There's going to be another sale, right? It cheapens your product. It devalues your store. So understand that using this method it's a short-lived item. It's supposed to excite them, ignite them to purchase now, not tomorrow because they'll have another sale. It's about getting the item, either moving old inventory, getting new inventory into the store and wanting them to purchase now. It's about increasing your revenue fast. So it's not about something that you have over and over and over. Make them like you're in for it. Oh, like any day now, X store is going to have their great sale, right? Don't overuse this one. Make it special. Sales promotion. Here goes some examples. Coupons, rebates, cents off, points off. I know there's sandwich shop that does patronage rewards, like buy 9 sandwiches, get the 10th one for free, birthday, whatever. Utilize these in your space. Because again, expectation, they're expecting certain things from certain stores. Do one of these work for you? Please definitely start utilizing it and create a formal plan of when and how you're going to use it. Public relation. This one always seems kind of weird for folks. Like, how do I get public relations? Do I get a write-up in a magazine? Again, we're in a different era, so this is exciting because besides the newspapers and the magazines and television, which was the only choices for public relations at one point, you also now have bloggers, you have YouTubers, you have people who do podcasts. And if they have great following, find out if they can review a product or come to your store and do one of their podcasts or do one of their items from your store. That would be a fantastic way. Like, invite your folks to come in. When they come in, we'll do like a small little giveaway. These are very believable because it's not coming from you. Someone else has taken the time to do this for you. And public relations, by the way, is not a paid item. It's a zero item. News outlets of all sorts, including the bloggers, are always looking for content. So this is you helping each other. And of course, they want to make sure that it's relevant. So it's not going to be just the you stories. One of the biggest stories that we got when we had our clothing stores and product was when we included all of these organizations that had helped me to write my business plan. I included them all in and told the story of a small business in San Francisco moving forward. So they profiled all three of them plus us, which led to a center page in the business section on Sunday in the Chronicle. Right? So think outside of yourself. Remember, marketing is not about the me story. And for those of you who are like, oh, I wish you would get to social media is going to need its own class. And, knowing all of these things that we're doing with webinars now, you will be seeing one soon, I'm sure. But the thing that I want you to remember about your social media is the word social. People miss that for some reason. It's an interactive thing. It's about being social. Okay, so it's not the me story. So please do not get onto social media and just say, this is a product we got in today. This is a sale we had today. Look at our store. Look at the people in our store. Look at us. Me, 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 me. What are those topics that your client would be interested in relation to your product? Make yourself into more of a resource. Make it fun, so that they'll come by and take a peek. Here are some examples as well of things that you could do public relation wise. And by the way, I didn't put this on, but social media is part of this. Again, let me repeat it. Social media is part of this. Promotion strategy. So when you do get, connected with a great blogger or a fashion writer or someone who reviews restaurants or food trucks or products or something like that, I'm just showing you this as an example because when you see these photos online, it's folks, your target audience is targeting and looking at more things than you think. I'm just going to use my pointer here and hopefully you guys will see it. They're looking at how she has her makeup done, the lipstick, I love that color, the earrings, wow, that's a cute earring. I love the strap on this dress. Is that a dress or a top? I love this dress. Look at the necklace, oh, that's so nice. Look at the shoes, oh, that's cute. They're looking at all of these items. So within this one thing, a lot of vendors and companies have been represented, and folks' eyes are going to go to different things based on their interests, right? So that's how you're included as a group in public relations. Personal selling, we talked about this before. It will be one of your highest investment. It's the most expensive promotional strategy because guess what? People love other people, and especially when you've hired fantastic folks for your store, people love coming in and just chatting with them and saying hello. And while they're there, the clients, the salespeople know what they want and what they're excited about. And so this is how we get moving with this, guys. So take the time to please train your staff. They're going in front of your clients when you're there, when you're not there. What are they doing? Are they presenting themselves well? Are they working with your clients well? The other day I heard someone say to me, well, sometimes you go into stores and they kind of almost make you feel bad and beg you. And, it's like you feel so bad that you purchased something. That's a horrible thing to say. So if that's you and you're being exposed by this, you're behind the cameras anyway, you can make changes now. A good salesperson is a secret weapon. Product knowledge is important. Training is important. I dropped in this little video. We don't have time to go through it, but you have the note right here. You can go back and take a peek at it just for a little bit of training for your staff. Direct marketing. I know that a lot of people see this as like, oh, well, I'm getting the phone calls or I'm getting bombarded by things in the mail. But if you are the store that this makes sense for, this perfectly works. So I'm just a couple of examples off the top of my head. The store that provides prom dresses or tuxedo rentals, or even, they're not retailers, but limousine companies. There's going to be an audience waiting for you at a certain time of year, even starting now, because we already know that group. You can purchase the list because they're about to graduate. They're going to be having their prom soon, and they're already thinking about next year, what should I wear? It's exciting. And so starting to send them this direct piece of mail, they're already in the mindset. They're excited about this. Is there any way for you to get to that client? Do you have that kind of market? Are they expecting you right now? Because when you're expecting that piece of mail, you'll open it. You'll see that great postcard, X discount if it's like you and 2 other friends come in to rent your tuxedo, right? They're excited about it right now. So direct marketing can still work. It is definitely a benefit to the buyer. It's convenient, it's easy, it's private because it's coming directly to me. I'm ready to access the product and the information. It's immediate and interactive. We can send them to the website. They can check out the tuxedos, the dresses, etc. And it's a really low-cost way because we know the specific client is very excited about the product now. To me, it only works directly with clients who are excited about the product now. We know that there's a need. We found out that someone has registered to get married, or they've registered at the city hall for their paperwork to get married soon. We know there's certain things that they're probably interested in that we can probably direct to them, right? So this really works very well for clients who are really excited about our product. Someone who just made a new car purchase, they might be thinking about insurance, looking at it, evaluating it. It still might be a great time to get to them. So How can we get to this market? This market is waiting for your product. They're excited. They're ready for the product now, right? So I cross out telemarketing because it's just not in vogue right now, although it is included in direct marketing. Catalogs, forwarding, you go to a store, you put your name in, they might mail a little something to you, get those from DSW, all the stores that you like, they might just send you a little postcard in the mail with a 10% off. Why not utilize that as well, even for a small client? Direct response TV. I kept this in. At one point, we were only talking about strict television, but guess what? Guess what we have now? It's easily accessible. Say it with me, YouTube. So do you have a channel on YouTube? It doesn't cost you anything. Every week, let's say the fashion guys, we could have a fashion show. There is one YouTube channel that I love. Twin sisters, one lays on the ground and the other walks by with the shoes, and they show off shoes from their store and give a review of it. Every week you could be sending off and talking about a new pair of shoes. Every week you could have a little fashion show. And with these little things in our pocket, cameras, has gone really into another level. So there's really no excuse to buy the little additives in order to save some money, do a quick video. And guess what, guys? It's never going to be perfect. You can research it to death, and after a while, you're just going to have to do it. So now you can create your own, I don't know, shoe TV, or, fabulous like bag TV, like why you should be riding a bicycle TV, whatever that is, you can actually start your own channel now. Kiosks are fantastic because you can be in malls, direct mailing, also newsletters. By the way, I had a discussion with someone this morning, and she's like, she's had a blog, and it's been hard getting subscribers, but the open rate on my newsletter, I love email newsletters, especially for you stores. You've gotten a face-to-face meeting with them. Now you're following up with a newsletter. You can push it out to their email versus a blog where you need them to subscribe. They may subscribe, they might not subscribe, let's see, the blog might be sitting there and no one even touches it, right? No one's reading it. But the newsletter gets pushed out directly to their email box. And again, because they know the name of the store, remember, please be consistent. Please do it immediate. Don't collect all these emails and then, next year, no, we got these from last year, so now we're going to do, they don't remember you. I heard a very interesting statistic the other day that said human focus is now down to 8 seconds. We're so distracted by everything. 8 seconds. We're below goldfishes right now that are at 9 seconds. So you're going to wait a year before you start doing your newsletter. There's a lot of free and inexpensive items, like there's MailChimp. Constant Contact will charge you something, but very affordable still. If you're doing Wix, Wix has shout out. All of these platforms have some variation that you could be using right now. You don't have to be a designer. There are already templates. Let's start today, guys. What can you do today? Start with one thing. I know it seems very overwhelming, but do one thing today that's going to move your marketing forward. I challenge you. One thing today, and then tomorrow engage something else. But start with one thing today. All right? And so I'm going to blow through this section because I know we're rolling through time, and I want to make sure we're using good use of your time. But here's some basics. And again, Paula, we've done, I know this, but so often, so many of you don't know this. And you're waiting for, I'm not sure what, before you do the supreme website, so build your website now. There's a lot of platforms that can start you now, and you can migrate it to something bigger later when you have the money. Please have your signage. Yes, signage out. Free low-cost newsletter platforms. Use it. Social media posting, if you're going to do it, pick a schedule and stick to that. Social media advertising. Posting alone is not going to drive the bus. We got to push a little bit as well. And complementing that with some advertising is going to help build a landing page on your existing website. So just a hidden page where instead of landing them to your homepage, let's say you do something on Facebook, instead of sending them to www.aretailstore.com, you're sending them to www.aretailstore/buythisnow.com or something like that. So they're going to that page. It's hidden. Maybe there's a special offer there. Think of the landing page as a virtual salesperson. All the tools should be on the page to get them to purchase, such as testimonials, maybe a video about the store, maybe profiling products, maybe clients' review of the product, maybe visuals of the store. What do they need to make a purchase and get them excited about whatever it is that you need them to do? And these things could include buy now, come to our store because, get a free gift, whatever that is that you're trying to make happen. Let's make that happen now on this page. Okay, so I'm going to go through this section really fast. Build a website. We talked about it. There are a lot of great options out there for you. And again, of course, once you get to a certain level, you can move to the WordPresses of the world. But for right now, Wix, Squarespace, Jendo, Weebly, I didn't put that one in, Shopify are great options now. Email newsletter platforms that you can utilize. Here are a couple that I've encountered: MailChimp, Constant Contact, CakeMail. Low-cost marketing now, social media. Are you posting actively? Create a schedule. So, if you can't afford to do take a lot of your time, so let's say to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, that's when we're going to post. That's the only time that I have to do that. But for those of you who aren't comfortable with like a lot of big technology, remember Facebook allows you to schedule. So under the word post, I mean, they keep changing it around a lot, so I'm going to preface that. There's options for posting, scheduling. So you can actually schedule things out for like a week or two. So you can just kind of put it down and it populates in. But there's also platforms as well that will help you to just upload it in, and it will just slowly populate out to your different platforms. Offer related information besides your own story, okay? Social media advertising. This is not just posting only, okay? We want to be able to reach our audience in other ways. And sometimes besides the folks who have fanned us, we want to push out to maybe a like audience as well. So advertising, and they're usually very affordable. Low-cost marketing now. Do not forward your advertisement to your website page. We talked about that before. Landing pages. This was actually meant for, so hopefully I see you at my larger event. We're doing a 3-hour seminar on this, going a little bit deeper. So hopefully you guys will be there to see a little bit more about what these look like. We're wrapping it up now. So actually, we're doing our visual merchandise series, and I'm hoping that you guys will tune into that. It's September 12th, 2018 at 10 a.m. Hopefully you guys will be able to check that out. And if you've already missed that point, remember, if you're seeing this on a recording after, remember that the visual merchandising should also be up as well. So please check that out, or request the PowerPoint or what have you. In summary, thank you guys for showing up today. I hope this information was helpful to you in creating your own plan and looking at the entire thing as more of a story told together, as opposed to just coming up with marketing ideas only. So work within the economy that exists right now. Things are just different. I just want you to change up your playbook just a little bit. Be courageous and do your research. Don't just ditto and copy others' ideas. Understand your customers. This will be the basis of building your business. Manage your inventory based on what you're hearing your clients are needing. And if they're not really excited about something, remember, move it to a discount, close it out, do a sale on it, buy one of this, get another, whatever free. If you have a dead stock that's just sitting, move it out. Really manage your inventory. budget monies for marketing. I know there's a lot of free options out there right now, but spending some money on your marketing is going to be significant. Even if it's a small budget, we still need to do the push as well. Okay, once you've launched, please keep moving forward, be consistent, be strong with your message, keep evolving it as you see that there's problems, and please, by all means, reach out to the SBDC for any assistance that you may have. Remember, besides myself, in retail marketing, and entrepreneurial assistance, there's a plethora of other advisors. This webinar was brought to you today by the collaboration between San Francisco and San Mateo SBDC. So if you're within those counties, please reach out to them for assistance. But also remember, Alameda and the surrounding counties also have their own SBDCs. So if you're watching this from a distance, please reach out to your local. Please like us on Facebook. And my name is Paula Madison Sierra. And I'm hoping that you find this information useful, and reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen today. Thank you.